What is your name?
My name is Bill Stachnik.
Where are you from?
I was born and raised in the Detroit, Michigan area.
How old were you on September 11th, 2001?
41.
Where were you on September 11th, 2001 when we were attacked?
I was at work. I worked at Comerica Bank down in a 9-story office building.
Did you ever visit the World Trade Center in New York City before September 2001?
I did not visit the World Trade Center.
Did you ever visit the Pentagon?
I did visit the Pentagon. I visited the Pentagon when we took a tour when I was in 9th grade.
What do you remember?
About the attack?
The Pentagon.
I don't really remember too much about the Pentagon other than it was an awesome building and it was very secure. It was very difficult to go through security to get in, even when we were 9th graders.
How did you find out about the attacks?
I was in a meeting at work, and when we came out of the meeting, one of our administrative assistants came in and said that she heard it on the internet that one of the planes had hit the tower, and at the time they thought it was a passenger, a private small plane. And then we turned on our computers and listened to the internet and watched on the internet, and then saw the second plane, which we now knew was a commercial airline, right into the second tower.
What were your first feelings or emotions when you heard about these attacks?
Pretty scary, just knowing that we were in Detroit. I was in a small office building, but it was still in a 10-story office building, and to think that something like that could potentially happen at the Renaissance Center, or even the building that we were in, is pretty scary.
What is your most vivid memory of that day?
Couple, driving home, when there were a lot of cars on the road, and everyone, at least myself when I was driving home, just wondering what was happening and what was going on, and could a plane fall out of the sky or wipe out the freeway that we were on. And then later on that night it was strange because we have a lot of planes that always fly over our house here, and that night when the airline or the airspace over the United States was shut down, it was really strange not seeing any airplanes in the sky. And then later in the evening we did see a couple of military planes fly over the sky, and we knew something really serious was happening.
Were you afraid for your safety or the safety of your family?
Absolutely. Just not knowing what could happen if anything could. If that could happen at the World Trade Center, you never know what could happen here. So absolutely, I was fearful for the safety of my family.
What actions did you take?
Really didn't take much other than kind of was more aware of our surroundings and tried to live life like we always did, just because things can happen anywhere, kind of. So.
How do you feel about the building of World Trade Center 1?
Kind of mixed emotion. I think it's a nice reflection, or it's a nice building, and it's great to work in New York City, but I don't think I could work there. I think now it's a symbol that someone else can come in and try another terrorist attack. I think it'd be difficult for me to work in a building like that.
What did you think of the government's reaction to the attacks?
I thought it was appropriate. They increased the heightened security and things like that. I think that we reacted appropriately.
Do you support the additional security at airports?
I do. I know it's a little bit tough to get in and out of security or airport. It might take a little bit longer, and they check your bags a little bit more, and it's a little bit inconvenient, but for the safety factor of perhaps preventing something like this again, absolutely, I think it's appropriate.
Do you believe the government should be able to listen to phone calls or read private emails in order to fight terrorism?
I have kind of mixed emotions on that. If it helps make the country safer, I think that's a good idea, but I really don't like them listening in on my own personal conversations. But on the other hand, I have nothing to hide, so if they listen to my conversation and monitor my emails, they're not going to find anything, so that wouldn't bother me.
Do you believe the nation is safer today as a result of the changes that took place?
Absolutely. I think especially at the airports and the border crossing scene, as we're so close to Canada and the things that could come across there, I think we're much safer with respect to that. And I think the general public, every citizen here, is more aware of their surroundings and probably are more mindful of what could happen or what your neighbor could be doing that maybe you weren't before.
How has 9/11 changed our nation or the world?
I think it's changed the world. I think it's changed the nation. It's the first time that we were attacked on our home soil ever in our history. So I think it made us more fearful, more distrustful, and more aware that it could happen again. And I think we're more prepared for something like that.
Okay, I want to thank you for your time today and taking the time to answer the questions about 9/11.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.